basically everything below it's going to stop working. All right, so kind of along the lines of the fundamental of trigger is trigger control. Okay, so trigger control is again very important because of two reasons. One, it's what gives you accuracy, and two, what gives you good fast follow-on shots. Okay, so there's a couple ways to train this or to practice this. I found that doing this live fire is one of the only real ways to do it. But what we want to do is, again, clear gun, no magazine, nothing in the chamber. You want to think about when you pull the trigger, you need to be intimately familiar with where that trigger breaks, right? Okay, so from here, I'm right on the wall, break, okay? Just like all the Grand Thumb videos. So once you have it pinned all the way to the rear, you need to be intimately familiar with how far forward it is until the trigger resets, okay? So knowing how far forward you need to come off the trigger is important, because what we don't want is to come all the way off the trigger, create that gap in space, and then come back on the trigger, okay? We want to come off the trigger, find reset, and then start applying pressure to take that next shot. So as a way to practice this with live fire, what you're going to do is, the first way you're going to do it is the incorrect way, meaning I'm going to pin the trigger to the rear. That round's going to go off. I'm going to pin the trigger to the rear, and on a timer call, on a threat call from a buddy, whatever the case may be, I'm going to come off the trigger and break another shot, right? What that's doing is it's giving me that data point of how far from all the way back to reset backwards again, right? So it's giving me the data point of how far from here to here I need to move my finger, right? So it's giving you that data point to be able to use once you start firing more and more rounds, okay? And then what we're going to do is, the next iteration is, you're going to come on the trigger, you're going to apply pressure, and you're going to be like 4.5 pounds just right before the trigger breaks, okay? You get that threat call, that beep, whatever the case may be, you're going to break that shot, immediately come off the trigger, find reset, and be ready to go again, right? So the first way we do it, we got that data point of how far forward we need to come off the trigger to find reset, and then start applying pressure. The next way is how we should probably be pulling the trigger, meaning I apply pressure, I'm on that wall, I'm about to break the shot, I break the shot, and the trigger immediately resets, and my finger is ready to go again, okay? Try to think about your fingers trying to race recoil, meaning as I pull the trigger, the gun cycles, I'm trying to beat the trigger to reset, okay? If you think about it like that, you're never going to beat it. If you do, then that's absolutely amazing. But you break that shot, cycles, and you want to be back on the trigger, ready to go again, okay? So try this drill. It has to be done with live fire, just due to the fact that you need that cycling action to give you the feedback of where that shot is breaking. All right, guys, so again, the drill to work on trigger control is, the first way we're going to do it is we're going to pull the trigger to the rear, break that shot off, pin the trigger to the rear, hold it all the way back. You're going to get that next command to fire another round. You're going to come off the trigger, find reset, and break that shot again, okay? You're going to keep doing that until you've dialed in exactly how far off the trigger to reset you can go before you need to break that shot, okay? And then we're going to go on the second one, which is you're on that wall at that 4.9 pounds, and then the command shot, you're going to break the shot, come off the trigger, find reset, and be back on that wall instantly, okay? So go ahead and load. So I'm going to fire around, I'm going to pin the trigger to the rear. I'm going to wait for that next command to fire. When I get that command, I'm going to come forward, let the trigger reset, and then come back, break that shot off, ping it to the rear again. So pin that trigger to the rear, wait for that command to threat. Up, up, up. All right, so if you guys could hear, there was the command, you heard the click of the reset, and then the trigger would break, right? So there's that little bit of a delay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right on that wall, waiting for that command to shoot. I'm going to break that shot and come right off trigger reset as soon as I can. So I'm going to be here on that wall. Up, 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 up. All right, so as you can see, when you're on trigger reset, meaning you've fired the round, come to find reset, and push back on the trigger, is one, it's going to be much, much faster, more efficient, and you're going to be a lot more accurate because there's less deviation in the weapon because your finger's not moving so much, right? So use this drill, practice it, have a buddy watch you, try to pick a small target so you can actually see, one, the accuracy difference and the speed difference. Because again, we're not just worried about accuracy and we're not just worried about speed. They both need to kind of grow together. So don't be the guy that only shoots accurate and don't be the guy that only shoots fast. We need to be the guy that can do both. So with this drill, really focus on shooting fast and shooting more efficiently and more accurately.